Once again, we will be with you by introducing one of the provinces of Iran. In this program, we want to introduce Hamedan province. Please stay with us. Hamedan is the capital city of Hamedan province of Iran. Hamedan province, with more than 3,500 years of culture and civilization and 500 years of history, was the capital in different historical periods. Hamedan was the first mentioned in Assyrian scriptures in 1100 BC, and the city was named before the Hekmatane and Ekbatan. Hamedan is mentioned in the biblical book of Ezra as the place where a scroll was found giving the Jews permission from King Darius to rebuild the Temple of Jerusalem. Its ancient name of Ekbatan is used in the Ezra text. Because it was a mile above sea level, it was a good place to preserve leather documents. During the Parthian era, Ctesiphon was the capital of the country, but Hamedan was the summer capital and residence of the Parthian rulers. After the Parthians, the Sassanids structured their summer palaces in Hamedan. The city of Hamedan, its fortunes following the rise and fall of regional powers, was destroyed during the Timurid invasion. Hamedan province lies in the temperate mountainous region to the east of Zagros. The vast plains of the north and the northeast of the province are influenced by strong winds that almost last throughout the year. The presence of favorable climate, good soil, and water resources has led to the growth and expansion of agriculture and animal farming in the province and has long been considered as a hub for agriculture and animal farming in the country. The main farming products in the province are wheat, potato, forage, garlic, barley, oilseeds, and peas. The average annual production of crops in the province is about 3.5 million tons. The main garden products of the province are grape, walnut, apple, nectarine, peach, plum, apricot, almond, variety of healing plants, and etc. Another advantage of the province is in the field of aquaculture. There is an annual production of 1 million pieces of ornamental fish. The city of Nahavand is known as the aquaculture city of the country, which is another characteristic of the province. Historically, Hamedan has relics which have been made several thousand years apart, such as Gian Historical Hill in Nahavand with more than 7,000 years of history, the 3,000-year-old Nushijan Castle in Malayer, the 2,700-year-old Hekmatane Historical Hill in Hamedan, and 2,500-year-old Ganjname inscriptions. Gian Hill is located 19 kilometers southwest of Nahavand city and 2 kilometers from Sarab Gian. It is next to the city of the same name and can be visited and researched as one of the oldest historical monuments. Archaeologists date the area to 37 BC. Historians believe that 5,500 to 5,700 years ago on the hill lived people who were natives of Iran and had a civilization similar to the Mesopotamian civilization. Nushijan is an archaeological site in the west of Iran near Malayer. According to excavations from this site, this area was not inhabited earlier than 800 BC. Nushijan Castle lies 20 kilometers northwest of Malayer and 60 kilometers away from Hamedan in Hamedan province. In this region, 3 cycles of civilizations have been distinct, the first of which being in the second half of the 8th to the beginning of 6th century BC. Hekmatane is Iran's first capital of 3,000 years old. It is the first capital of Iran, and along with Athens in Greece and Rome in Italy, it is one of the few ancient cities in the world that remains alive and important. Herodotus made the city of Diaco and said it had 7 walls, each of which was one of the planets. In the archaeological excavations of recent years in the Higmatan Hill, it was discovered that the magnificent palaces of this ancient region were located on the present Higmatan Hill. This remarkable ancient city has been its regular water supply network. Ganjname is located 12 kilometers southwest of Hamedan in western Iran at an altitude of 2,000 meters across Mount Alavand. The site is home to 2 trilingual Achaemenid cuneiform inscriptions. The inscription on the upper left was created on the order of Achaemenid King Dariush the Great, 486 to 522 BC, and the one on the right by his son King Hashayar the Great. Alavian Dome is a historical monument remained from Seljuk era. The dome has always attracted the attention of researchers due to its unique features. The plan is square and has star-like edges. Unfortunately, the dome was collapsed, but the walls still show many beauties of the Persian agriculture. Alavian Dome was built with bricks and is upper than the ground level, so to enter, you must walk 9 stone stairs. The Tomb of Avicenna is a complex located at Avicenna Square, Hamedan, Iran. Dedicated to the Iranian polymath Avicenna, the complex includes a library, a small museum, and a spiral-shaped tower. Ibn Sina was a Persian polymath who is regarded as one of the most significant physicians, astronomers, thinkers, and writers of the Islamic Golden Age, and the father of early modern medicine. This 4-sided structure dome had been artistically worked with plaster, but through the ages is no more. The tomb is situated under the domed ceiling of the basement and worked in blue tiles. This memorial is tomb of the great poet of the late 4th and early 5th centuries A.H. Baba Tahir. The structure was constructed in the years of 1967 to 1970. The tomb is based on an octagon. 8 pillars of the tower, stone blocks of the tomb and its base, together with the steps and the surrounding paved area, are all sculptures granite. Within the internal area are 24 pieces of marble affixed, each having a verse from the poems of this believed personality. The Ali Sad Cave is the world's largest water cave, which attracts thousands of visitors every year. It is located in Ali Sad County, about 100 kilometers north of Hamedan, western Iran. In the summer of 2001, a German-British expedition surveyed the cave, finding it to be 11 kilometers long. The main chamber of the cave is 100 meters by 50 meters and 40 meters high. The cave walls can extend up to 40 meters high, and it contains several large, deep lakes. The cave has a river flowing through it, and most travel through the cave system is done by boat. More than 11 kilometers of the cave's water canals have been discovered so far. Excavations and archaeological studies of the cave have led to the discovery of ancient artworks, jugs, and pitchers dating back to 12,000 years ago. Animals, hunting scenes, and bows and arrows are depicted on the walls and passages of the exit section. These images suggest primitive man used the cave as their house. The cave was known during the reign of Dariush, 485 to 521 BC, which can be verified by an old inscription at the entrance of the tunnel. However, the knowledge of the existence of the cave was lost, and it was only rediscovered in 1963 by Iranian mountaineers. Qorban Tower and Tomb. The tomb is located in the city of Hamedan. This is the resting place of Shaykh al-Islam and a group of commanders of Seljuqi period. It was built in the 7th and 8th centuries AH. It comprises of a brick tower with 12 sides and a brick pyramid-shaped dome consisting of 12 brick panels. The external part of the building is composed of arches of unique and spectacular design. In the center of the tower is a simple grave, the tombstone of which is related to the Safavid period. The tomb of Esther and Mordechai. The tomb of Esther and Mordechai is located in Hamedan, Iran. Iranian Jews believe it houses the remains of the biblical Queen Esther and her cousin Mordechai and is the most important pilgrimage site for Jews in Iran. Esther is described in all versions of the Book of Esther as the Jewish queen of a Persian king, Ahasuerus. The king's chief advisor, Haman, is offended by Esther's cousin and guardian Mordechai, and gets permission from the king to have all the Jews in the kingdom killed. Esther foils the plan and wins permission from the king for the Jews to kill their enemies, and they do so. Her story provides a traditional background for Purim, which is celebrated on the date given in the story for when Haman's order was to go into effect, which is the same day that the Jews killed their enemies after the plan was reversed. Pottery and ceramics in Hamedan. They are believed to date several thousand years of this art in Hamedan province. The most important pottery production center in Hamedan province is Lalajin. Lalajin pottery has a worldwide reputation, and Lalajin is the capital of Iranian pottery. Archaeological research show that Lalajin, located in the ancient city of Hamedan, has 7,500 years history record dating back to ancient Persia. Pottery has been handed down from generation to generation in Lalajin. This is their ancient and traditional art. Lalajin is also the center of pottery production in the Middle East. The small town of Lalajin celebrated its designation as the World Pottery Capital by the World Crafts Council in 2016. Give is footwear worn by men and women appropriate for warm weather and mountainous areas in Iran. The traditional shoe soles are built with unique material pieces of cloth and are covered with hand-woven cotton or silk. As a unique type of footwear and clothing, give is an essential part of garments. All stages of the production of these shoes are handmade and are generally made of cotton yarn, silk yarn, and footwear made of leather or rubber. Embroidered pearls are one of the beautiful and traditional embroideries in Iran, in which pearls are made in the form of beads or spherical pearls, and sometimes from pearls in the shape of wheat and tears. Solid, spherical, shiny, and relatively hard pearls are made from bivalve shellfish called oysters. The history of pearl embroidery dates back to the Achaemenid period in Iran. In his travel log, Marco Polo mentions this embroidery in the early Islamic period and its use in decorating the Kaaba curtain in the 7th century AH. Eggplant ash. This delicious dish is originally made in Malayer, Hamedan province. Ash is a kind of thick soup which contains fresh herbs and grains or beans. To make this dish, first peel eggplants and cut them in rings. Soak wheat groats for a couple of hours. Add in wedges of onion and season with turmeric, salt, and pepper. Set over the heat until cooked. Fry the rings of eggplants in oil. Then add the fried eggplants to the pot. Stir in 3 tablespoons of dried mint and chopped garlic and let it settle on a low flame. Once ready, remove the ash to a bowl and garnish with fried onion slices and mint powder on top. خورش قور بادمجان. First fry the onion until golden, then add turmeric and paste and fry in oil. Then add the fried chicken and put it in the pot to fit. Finally, we put fried tomatoes and fried eggplants either in the stew or when serving on the stew. Hamedan sweets go back several hundred years ago, and it is known to West traditional sweets of Iran. so it can be possible to provide Hamedan sweets as souvenirs. Among the traditional sweets of Hamedan, some of the most famous are Bastogh snack. Bastogh is one of the oldest Iranian desserts, which today is mostly consumed as a sweet with tea. This delicious dessert is very enjoyable, so most people love bastogh. To prepare this pastry, you can use grape juice, starch, almonds, or sweet apricot kernels and other spices. Yol Kalva. Yol Kalva is from Hamedan, a kind of dessert that is similar to porridge with the difference that Yol Kalva is more rigid. Yol Kalva has a very pleasant taste, and because of having egg yolks, it is a rich source of protein. In the great peaceful protests of 2017 and 2019 after petrol price rise, the people of Hamedan, along with other provinces, took to the streets against the tyranny in Iran. Students also staged a protest rally against the crash of a Ukrainian plane by the Iranian regime. Thank you for staying with us. We hope you enjoyed watching this program, and we will continue to be with you by introducing other provinces.